Another one of the really great stories with Elijah is he goes to confront the prophets of Baal. So Elijah goes to Ahab, this wicked king, finally, and talks with him and says, look, everything you're doing is wrong. So summon the people from all over Israel to meet me on Mount Carmel, and bring the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of Asherah, who eat at Jezebel's table. So there were different gods that they each worshiped, different idols, and one of them was called Baal and one was called Asherah. And you hear about Asherah poles all through the Bible. So Ahab sent word throughout all of Israel and assembled the prophets on Mount Carmel. So Elijah stands before the people and starts to tell them, how long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal is God, follow him. But the people said nothing. Then Elijah said to them, I am the only one of the Lord's prophets left, but Baal has 450 prophets. Get 2 bulls for us. Let them choose one for themselves, and let them cut it into pieces and put it on the wood, but do not set fire to it. I will prepare the other bull and put it on the wood and not set fire to it. Then you call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of my God. The God who answers by fire, he is the real God. Then all the people said, what you say is good. Then Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, choose one of the bulls. So they put it up there. They call on the name of Baal from morning till noon. Oh, Baal, answer us, they shouted, but there was no reply. No one answered. And they danced around the altar they had made. At noon, Elijah began to taunt them. Shout louder, he said. Surely he is a god. Perhaps he is deep in thought, or busy, or traveling. Maybe he is sleeping and must be awakened. A little sarcastic, were we, Elijah? So they shouted louder and slashed themselves with swords and spears, as was their custom, until their blood flowed. The day passed, and they continued their frantic prophesying until the time for the evening sacrifice, but there was no response. No one answered. No one paid attention. Then Elijah said to all the people, come here to me. And they came to him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord, which was in ruins. Elijah took 12 stones, one for each of the tribes descended from Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord had come, saying, your name shall be Israel. With the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he dug a trench around it, large enough to hold 2 seahs of seed. He arranged the wood, cut the bull in pieces, and laid it on the wood. Then he said to them, fill 4 large jars with water, and pour it on the offering and on the wood. Do it again, he said, and they did it again. Do it a 3rd time. At the time of sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed. So apparently there was a specific time that the sacrifice was normally made in the temple or in the tabernacle. O Lord, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, O Lord, answer me, so these people will know that you, O Lord, are God, and that you're turning their hearts back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the soil. It also licked up the water in the trench. When all the people saw this, they fell prostrate and cried, the Lord, he is God! The Lord, he is God! Then Elijah commanded them, seize the prophets of Baal. Don't let any one of them get away. They seized them, and Elijah had them brought down to the Kishon Valley and slaughtered there. Then Elijah said to Ahab, go, eat and drink, for there is a sound of heavy rain. So Ahab went off to eat and drink, but Elijah climbed to the top of Mount Carmel, bent down to the ground, and put his face between his knees. Go and look toward the sea, he told his servant, and he went up and looked. There's nothing there, he said. 7 times Elijah said, go back. The 7th time the servant replied, a small cloud, as small as a man's hand, is rising from the sea. So Elijah said, go and tell Ahab, hitch up your chariot and go down before the rain stops you. It's a pretty incredible story. They'd had no rain for 3 years. The ground had dried up. The rivers had dried up. It was a mess. And then when he calls on the Lord, he proves who is real and who is not.